Hey players, in this video I'm breaking down the game of DeMar DeRozan, and I'm going to give you some skills and some tips to apply to your own game. So in this video, we're going to learn a couple things, but mainly we're going to talk about mastering your own spots. You don't have to be great at every single area of the floor, but if you can become really great in one or two areas, one or two different actions, and just master those, that's going to be really good for you. We're also going to talk about creating space and some more stuff off of that. But right here, DeMar DeRozan, in this clip right here, when you're working on your jump shot, here's the tip that I want to give you out of this clip, is you've got to work against contesting defenders. Now, from an offensive perspective, when you're in a game and you're listening to your coach, you don't want to take contested shots because your field goal percentage is going to be lower. But inevitably in a game, when you play good defenses, there's still going to be defenders in your face. So you need to work on, when you're working on your shooting, get a partner, get a teammate, get whoever you're working out with to step up and just like this right here, just contest your shot, and then that will force you to elevate, get a higher release point from the mid-range, and now you're working on shooting over defenders because players, one problem that you have is a lot of you in practice, you shoot really well, but then once you get to a game, your field goal percentage goes way down, and one of the reasons is because you're not working against contesting defenders. So you got to work on that. Now, here's a way you can steal a couple points a game, and this is one of my recurring themes in all my videos, is how can you increase your points per game from 8 to 12 or 12 to 16 or 15 to 18? How can you steal a couple points each game? So this is one way you can do it, is just by identifying lazy closeouts. So DeMar DeRozan, obviously here in the corner, he's going to have a quick catch and shoot three. But during the game, there's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions where your defender is super lazy and they're not committed to closing out 100%. You've got to be able to identify that and either get that shot off quickly or you can drive right by him. So identify lazy closeouts and take advantage. Now, this is a move that 2s and 3s all need to have. This is a dribble drive into a post-up. So DeMar DeRozan's going to come off the high ball screen right here. He's going to dribble in, and now he's into a post-up. And then what he does is he just goes into a slight fade. And notice the distance from the rim. He's only 6, 7, 8 feet from the rim right here. He's not shooting a fadeaway three-pointer, and he's not even at 15 to 17 feet. He's pretty close to the rim, but 2s and 3s, this is a great move that you can work on because it's going to be a high percentage shot, and especially if you're tall for your position, this drive into a post-up, turnaround, slight fadeaway, if you're tall for your position, this is going to be really good for you. Now, this next clip that we're going to see, now this is what I was talking about earlier in this film. If you look at all the areas of the floor last season where DeMar DeRozan scored from, obviously he has a lot of green areas because he's one of the best scorers in the league, but where he really gets most of his attempts, other than at the rim, which that's everybody, is right here in the dead middle of the floor at the foul line area and then right inside the top of the key. So he got 288 field goal attempts last season from this area and then 174 from this area. So he operates primarily from the middle of the floor, and obviously he does a really, really good job of that, and he's way above average field goal percentage in the league. And that goes back to the point of you don't have to be great at everything. Obviously, you want to work on all your skills, but if you can become elite at just 1 or 2 spots of the floor, then that will serve you well. Now, this one right here is a ball screen, and I'm going to show you what it means for the screener to wash the defender. So DeMar DeRozan is going to attack off of this ball screen. You got the ball screen right here, elbow to the chin. That had to hurt. But what the screener is going to do is when the screener rolls down to the rim, it causes this switch, and the DeMar DeRozan's defender is kind of getting washed into the paint because they didn't really fully commit to a switch, and they were kind of confused. The defense didn't communicate well, and the screener had just because the screener rolled, this occupied DeMar DeRozan's defender. So on this ball screen, you just got to be able to identify what the defense is doing and then make the proper read. So here is the same move we looked at a minute ago, and it's just that turnaround to a slight fadeaway. This is an advanced move. I wouldn't recommend this for most players, especially at this range right here. The clip that we looked at earlier would be a little more applicable for most players. But when you're talking about mid-range scoring, the keys to getting these types of shots off is you have to, well, there's three things that he did to create space right here. So one is the high elevation. He's jumping pretty high. Number 2 is the high release. And then number 3 is that slight fadeaway. So when you're talking about becoming a great scorer, a good scorer, you've got to be able to create space. These are 3 ways you can do it. So when you're training, you can work on the slight fades, you can work on the high release, and you can work on the high elevation where you're just jumping as high as you can, working on your shot, because you'll just simply jump over the defender. They won't be able to block it. Now right here, footwork is just the hop footwork. So as DeMar DeRozan's coming off this handoff into a down screen, which this is down screen into a handoff. This is actually a great action that you can add or work on with your teammates. Got a score in the corner, going to get a down screen right here, and then into a handoff. And this is a tough action to guard because if it's two good screens, then this defender is going to have a hard time staying with the ball. And if it's good screens, something good is going to happen. But as you watch DeMar DeRozan's footwork right here, he's dribbling in. He lands on 2 feet at the same time. Then he goes up into a shot. So as you're working on your shooting, recurring theme that I have in all my videos is you want to be able to go 1-2, left, right foot, or right, left foot. And you also want to be able to go into that hop. So that's it for this DeMar DeRozan film study. If you want to get a free account on my basketball training platform, it's linked below. You can click it, check it out, make a free account. But I hope this was helpful. Let's keep getting better.